Welcome to the Mechanical Room. A Centrotherm production focusing on all things in and around the HVAC industry. And now, your hosts, Michael Sakaris and Matthew Price.
Welcome back to the Mechanical Room. We have a very special guest for the first time here in studio in the Blue Room. We have Mr. Ben Poole of HVAC Tactical, a friend to one and all and a friend to me. Thanks for making the trip up to Albany.
I appreciate that. It's quite the trip to get up here.
That it was. What are you doing in New York? You're a man, you're a Texan through and through, although I know, born in Arizona, but a Texan now, up here in the Big Apple. What have you been doing?
Yeah, I'm officially a Texan now. Texas has officially claimed me. So
Did you change your license? Is that what it was?
I'll let them do that.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so we came up to New Jersey. We did a photo shoot for the magazine stuff, which was super fun. And then actually Matt drove down for that. So, he drove down, I came up. I caught a train, I didn't drive. And then we did some podcasting stuff. You probably saw the Trollcast we did with Jeff J. Dem. That was adventurous for sure.
Quite an outfit.
Yeah.
Quite an outfit he was wearing there. He should do some summertime installations in that suit jacket.
In those shades. Yeah. He's like, how do I look? He's like, I just want to look as sleaze baggy as possible. I was like, executed it well.
Which is so funny because he is just such a sweetheart too. I mean,
he's a good human being.
It's a really, if you know him as I do, not super well, but I know him well enough. It's like a complete opposite of him. He's like one of the most giving and generous people around. Yeah. So that's what makes that funny to me.
He's hilarious. But yeah, other than that, we had a really good time. We took a little tour of the city and did some stuff. Went to the Empire State Building, stuff like that, and then just hung out and coming up here doing this podcast and did another podcast down in Jersey that will air on the Tactical channel here soon. So yeah. And
you were with Joey. Did you guys go to a job site as well? Joey Yepes, of course.
So so we went down and saw Joey Yepes, aka HVAC Combat. And we filmed an In the Trenches series with him. And so that needs to be edited and that will probably release sometime later this month. So we have one episode that has to air before his drops. So
who's that?
Angel Hernandez, Cost Less Heating, HVAC boss.
Is that local to Texas?
California.
And you went out there on site as well?
Correct.
Awesome. So that's a big thing of what you're working on right now is building up the YouTube channel and building up the the segments of the in trenches segments. So that's how many episodes have you done so far?
I think we're about four or five in. So yeah, it's a blast doing it, but man, it's a lot of work, And so anybody watching, we're looking for other avenues to be able to compensate what it costs to actually do this stuff. So.
Is that a plea to advertisers there?
Totally.
Hey,
totally.
NAVAC, hint.
Yeah. So our hey Centrotherm, hey Mike. Our main sponsor of the show is GE, and they've been great. But it's just to travel and hotel, just travel and what it costs to put this stuff together in production is just dumb. So
yeah, I think people who don't. People who only see the YouTube end product, and naturally folks like you make it look so easy that they think it's easy to do, and it is obviously very grueling to get out on the road and keep to a schedule, keep tight with content. Obviously, be respectful of what Joey's got to do. I assume he was going to do paid work for the company. So, did you actually go to one of his sites?
Yeah.
What was the project like? What were you working on?
Just a residential split system. So
an installation or just
installation?
Okay.
Yeah. We did. We mostly hung out outside, did the outdoor portion while his partners did the indoor portion. But then we crawled up in the attic and did some filming up there with him as he did some of the stuff up in the attic space, and just kind of getting Joey's take on it. And Joey's a really quiet guy, so it's hard to pry words out of him. But I think we got some really good footage and just show. The whole purpose is just really to showcase what guys are doing out in the field, you know what I mean?
Indeed.
And I'd love to be able to venture into, when I was in the Empire State Building, there was this big door that said mechanical room, right? I would love to be able to tour mechanical facilities in national monuments and in cruise ships or in naval ships, like
the super yacht of the Centrotherm owner.
There you go, right? Just really cool stuff, just doing stuff that the average HVAC person doesn't really get to see. Just being able to go in there and do a dirty jobs, if you will, right? So it's just something a little bit different, just trying to be different.
So you mentioned Joey, who is featured in the spring issue of the HVAC Tactical Magazine, and I do want to talk about the magazine, as pretty close to my heart as well. Sure. But I hadn't met Joey until he was competing at the highest level at our Centrotherm Miami event that you also was an amazing pitcher at, and ate some sand at one point as well. And maybe we'll work in that footage, because that one's going to live on forever on the internet for forever, because it's just so much fun. Everybody was just so jubilant. It was just such a funny moment on the beach, and everybody was having a blast. But that was the last time I saw Joey down there, and you were down there as well. And I'm just curious. I always ask everybody, just sort of talk about what that was like from an outside perspective. I shared something on the Centrotherm Instagram last night, because it came up in my memories, that we were starting to send out some of the care packages and some of the sort of, like you have expressed interest and blah, blah, blah. The initial invites, let's say. That was 1 year ago yesterday.
Oh, wow.
So it's fresh on my mind a little bit, because now it's going to be like, okay, and this was 1 year ago, and then this was the event, et cetera, et cetera. But you were there. What was that like? What's a highlight for you? The whole experience. Just tell from your perspective. How was that? What was it? Should we do it again? The floor is yours.
I mean, at the end of the day, like for me, it's always about the people, right? And there was so many people there, just from inside of our trade, inside the plumbing industry, all these guys on social media, just being able to meet a lot of these guys for the first time. I mean, I didn't know a lot of people there. I knew a handful of people,
sure.
But I didn't know everybody.
Some, I think, close friends even.
Yeah, but I had people walking up to me like,
So who did you
like
meet for
they
the first
knew
time?
Me. Man, I couldn't even remember names. Yeah.
I mean, you're old friends now with those guys. I mean, that's the way I feel, right? So I had known Gabriel, for example, HVAC SG.
Yep.
So I know him from the internet, let's say. But then just meeting him, it's like we're pals. I mean, I saw him. I saw his Instagram. He was working out at the little gym by the pool at like 6 a.m. or something. I was like, shit, I'm gonna go down there and get him to do some content with him at this time in the morning, just best friends, And a lot of those people are like that. So yeah, keep going.
Yeah, he's a good dude. I mean, at the end of the day, like I've met a lot of these guys before, but just being able to meet new faces and meet new people, and people walking up to me and just knowing who I am, right? And I feel bad, because I'm like, I don't know who you are, and I don't follow you on social media. So that was an opportunity for me to just meet a couple more people and go and follow a few more accounts, you know what I mean? And just make some new friends, And I mean, this whole journey over the last 6 years has just been incredible. Just meeting so many people and building the network, and being able to travel anywhere in the country and essentially be able to go have dinner.
Canada too.
With anybody, correct.
Yeah. And then soon to be Mexico.
Yep.
And who knows, they got some weird HVAC stuff all over the world. So in the trenches global,
yeah.
I mean, that's...
right now, and this is still all in the making, but I'm planning a trip to London in November. And so there's a guy out there who does a lot of VRV stuff that I think would make a really cool In the Trenches video. So, London edition,
You do have a pretty good British accent.
I mean, it's all right.
That's another fun memory I have is when you were signing AHR, like our little board, whatever, you did it like it was on Safari or whatever. It was very, very funny. We have that clip as well. We'll have to go over through so I'm talking to Jordan behind the glass over there, which is what we say as if he was actually in a studio here at the mixing board. But we have a lot of B-roll footage and funny stuff that will probably pop into this here, because it's always good to get those visual accompaniments. And you signing the thing, I mean, that was so funny. If you remember, Lisa was there with us. It was just very, very funny. Another good thing. So AHR's coming up as well. You have any big plans for that?
Well, we have the award show.
Oh, right, that. Yeah. So where's that this year?
That fancy thing. That is going to be at SeaWorld, and that'll be the day before AHR kicks off, which actually lands on Super Bowl Sunday, which may be a deal breaker for some people, but we just didn't have a choice. It was either Super Bowl Sunday or nothing. There was some discussion about adjusting the time a little bit. Did that happen?
So
we're backing up the time a little bit and doing it, an hour or two ahead of time, just to try to get the award show in and done, and by the time we're done, hopefully the game is still going on and you can catch the final part of the game. But yeah, the game will be going on during the show. There's just no way around it. But we weren't able to figure out a way to do it on a Saturday or do it on a Monday. It conflicts with way too many things. Yeah. And quite honestly, I mean, there was a handful of people. We put a poll out, and there was a handful of people that were like, "Yeah, don't do it on Sunday."
I voted I don't care about the Super Bowl.
And most people did. Yeah. So most people just said, "Hey, we don't care. This is our Super Bowl." Is a lot of the response that I got.
That's awesome.
So I'm just like, okay, so that's what we're gonna do. So
that's a perfect segue. The award show is the HVAC Super Bowl, and I've been lucky enough to be there a couple times. Looking forward to it again. That's part of this journey that you've been talking about, which is HVAC Tactical. So where did you start? Of course, as a technician, let's say. Let's talk a little bit about drumming up the idea to start what is really a lifestyle brand. We're both wearing it here. I got stickers on the wall in the Texas section over there. Where did the idea come from? Let's just talk about the journey a little bit, from starting the idea, from selling shirts, awards, magazine, YouTube channel, I mean, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, I mean, it all started with slow season in Texas, right? So it was January of 2018, I think. Obviously, it's cold, but it's not as busy as it is in the summertime. So that's considered our slow season. And so we're sitting in my office, and I'm just like, I'm searching the internet for HVAC swag, which is, number one, it's kind of hard to find, and what I did find was like kind of gimmicky and not well done. And so I thought, okay, so
would you mind elaborating what you mean by that? I mean, you don't have to name names, but what do you say, gimmicky? What
the designs, you know what I mean? Like,
cheesy.
Yeah, cheesy stuff. You know what I mean? Like the typical, the 3 different pictures. One is like coffee, HVAC, and then you're smashing something on the other picture, right? Like, I mean, that's
right. Like eat, sleep, HVAC,
yeah, and it's like, it's just stuff like that, right? Or just like clip art of like a technician with gauges or something like that, and it was there, but it just wasn't done well, right? And so I was just like, man, what if we did something? What if we just came out with cool swag?
When you say we, who is we? It's mostly you.
Well, I say, that's just something I've always said.
That's your humility coming through there, because it is.
Yes, because I'm very humble now.
You are. I mean, you are certainly self-deprecating at times, and also I feel the gratitude from you for the help that I provide and all that sort of stuff. So you say we, and you do mean we, and when you say we, I take it almost as like the community almost.
Yeah,
which is another question I have for you.
At the end of the day, I started this thing, right? And I'm not naive to the fact that I started this thing. But at the end of the day, also, it doesn't happen with just me, right? There's the community, right? Yourself, Gianna, even my young apprentice Efren, even though I have to put up with his mustache.
I like the mustache. I can't grow it like that. I'm not robust like that, so I'm liking it. Well, we'll have to get a nice photo of you with. I know I've seen you with the cowboy hat. It's very perfect. It's like straight White Earp stuff right there.
Yeah,
and we should also mention Miss Rebecca Poole as well, who's now the newest member of the team.
Yeah, she just came on. My sister just came on. She's gonna be handling the ad space for the magazine. So it's like the me always saying we is always because there's other people involved, right? But I'm boots on the ground. I'm the one doing a lot of stuff, but I think I've come to realize that I can't do this by myself over the last couple of years, and I've just slowly kind of just been integrating people into the mix, and and I think that's the magic sauce.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to rattle off a few names that I know help the magazine roll. Right, so you mentioned the editorial team, myself and G and you and your sister now in the ad sales element, but we month in, month out, or I guess quarter in, quarter out at this point, we've had Jen Monzo has written an article each time. I mean, the legendary Mike Sakaris now has an article in the upcoming summer edition. Yep. So and we miss him here. He's in Greece. I don't think he's too jealous. We're in upstate New York. He's in Greece. He's missing this podcast because he would like to be here with you, but I think he's not suffering. But who else? Tim DeStasio, and I mean, Ben Thompson wrote an article in a recent issue, and so I mean, it's God, I feel like I'm missing people.
Yeah, Matt Showers.
There you go. He's been in a few times. Jimmy Allgood. Yep. Your personal chiropractor contributes to that, and that's what I really like about the magazine is it's a really interesting blend of content. right? We were talking about this the other day. I don't know anything about HVAC, essentially technical elements of it. So all my stuff is sort of philosophical and kind of businessy in some respects, but not really about the gear, right? We had the article by Tony Gonzalez that is
from Field Piece,
very technical, and the art that's associated with that is pictures of gear that I have no idea what it does, but it's always fascinating. So, I mean, the magazine is coming along. We have Jess Bannister on the cover for the summer issue, which is now live on the web and I believe at the print house right now.
I just got an email this morning. It's done.
Fantastic. So that'll be hitting the streets pretty soon here, and we're excited about that. So magazine keeps rolling on, and Dan Vashon. How could I forget him? That was another one. Honestly, he was the first one I thought of, and now circle it back to two.
Dan Bastian writes all of our cover stories for us, and it's just kind of, I met Dan and we really hit it off, and he's just been that guy ever since. So again, this is part of like cultivating this team of people, right? So it's kind of like, hey man, I really like this person. I want this person to be part of what we're doing. Like, how about you take this role? And they're absolutely,
And I think, you at the heart of this has, it has brought together a bunch of folks who kind of have the same sort of mentality. Like, there's a lot of like giving and supportive folks in this magazine family now who are all really there to help support and generous with their time and their, their technical skills and their writing skills and all that sort of stuff. Oh, Rich Schuster is another one who's had a couple of articles now in there. So I mean,
Ask a Jerk column,
just growing by leaps and bounds. And I'm proud to say that I think each episode has been, we call them episodes, not issues, which
is weird.
I think you started that.
I did, but I don't know why.
We're rolling with it.
I don't know why. Yeah.
So each episode has been better than the last, and it's a high bar to aspire to, but it's something we've been able to achieve. And I won't give it away, but the winter cover thing is going to be, I think, something that will be legendary. Ho ho ho.
The man is legendary.
He is. He's one of my favorites. We won't give that away, but he looks kind of like Santa, and basically he's got a white beard. So that's it. That doesn't really narrow it down in this industry, but dressing that guy up like Santa in the old Arizona desert, hint on that one, will be, I think, a great you make those big posters for everybody. I think I might want one with him on the cover. Get me the holiday spirit.
Yeah, actually, we should put a couple of those up in here.
We should.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea, actually. And actually, I'll talk to this afterwards. There's a couple of companies that do a really nice job of like taking specific pages and framing them and like embossing them inside of the clear plexiglass. And
if you have this doesn't matter for the camera, but if you have a local printer, it might be better just to send you the files and you can get them printed here on the foam boards instead of me shipping things to you. It's probably cheaper.
Well, so maybe we'll edit this out, but it's also just for anybody who's out there. It's possible. So this company that I'm talking about will like take the PDF and like print them their own way, like potentially even etched into the plastic or etched into the into the frame type of deal, and it's really interesting. It's very corporate-y, but it looks pretty sharp. So it's
corporate has its time.
It's the kind of thing where it's like it might make a good gift for somebody, right? Like Zach. For Christmas or something like that. One of the, I know you sent him the foam board, but they. I'll show you what I have in mind. It's interesting. It might make a good gift for somebody at some point. Anyway.
Okay. So check it out.
Maybe the most uninteresting part of this so far.
That's
but
all right. We can edit it out. So at the end of the day, man. It's the magazine there's something special about the magazine that's doing what really has never been done. In our industry anyway, right? So, and when I describe it to people, I just say it's like a Sports Illustrated for HVAC, minus the bikinis, because nobody wants to see us in bikinis.
I only want to see Louis Medina in a bikini.
He's the only guy who would be seen in one.
That's right. We've seen that. The American flag July 4th WEPA edition that's a social media post that will, I believe it's burned into my retinas for eternity. So. He is really the main bikini star of the industry. He was on the cover of the awards catalog.
Yep.
So a great photo of him too. He was fully clothed in that one.
He was, yeah.
He was wearing some very loud sneakers. Very loud man. We love Louis. God, I hope you're watching this at some point, Louis. We love you, buddy. Come up to the factory. You're not too far. He had to get on a plane to get here. You can just drive that ridiculous car with the LED screens on it to get up here.
That's funny.
So tomorrow. You are going to another factory, is that correct?
I'm gonna go visit the NAVAC facility, here in New Jersey, over in Lyndhurst.
Lyndhurst, that's right. Do you know how you have any?
It's like a warehouse they have. Yeah.
Are they doing manufacturing there,
I don't
or is it
think
just
so.
a shipping facility?
It's just mostly like storage and shipping.
Okay, that's not where Brad works out of, right?
No, Brad's out of Texas.
Okay, I thought so. Yeah.
And Brad travels all the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, Brad's about 2.5 hours from me where I live.
Oh, okay. So who are you meeting tomorrow?
EE, which is the head marketing.
Okay.
lady
Excellent.
for
So
NAVAC.
more content and go. Do you get to like play with stuff? I mean,
I don't know what they have planned.
all right. Well, I hope so. I'm gonna let you play with.
You'll just have to wait and see, I guess.
Play with some elbows and some test ports over here. Our stuff is like kind of hard to break.
It's kind of kinky when you play with your elbows.
You can play with elbows. I could have said play with the pipe. We have a lot of plastic. It's hard to break, so you can screw around with it and throw it
Maybe
around.
I can beat my apprentice with it.
You could. It will not. I mean, he might like that. It's not. It will leave a little. It'll like a little redness. Little maybe raise up a little bit, but it's not going to hurt you too bad. So, and we can just say, we have to come up with a safe word, and then we'll go from there. You can definitely whack him with these pipes.
For the record, I don't beat my apprentice that much.
Only when he deserves it, right?
Only when he deserves
no, Efren is,
which is typically all the time.
Yeah, well, it happens. I think I think we all love Efren, and we're glad that he's here as well. So yeah, I mean that seems like a good spot to conclude this here. We covered a lot of stuff. Thank you again for coming up to New York. It's great to see you as always. Sometimes you just live in my phone as a little white tuxedo guy, just text messaging back and forth. So
that picture may change here real soon.
I know. I'm lucky enough to have a preview of what's to come, and let's just say that wearing it in this room might have been problematic. Like the invisible Ben Poole at that point.
Yeah, we got some really cool pictures coming
of
the editorial team, and I'm really excited to see what comes out of that. If you haven't seen the magazine, go to your local supply house, see if they got it there. If you can't find it in your local supply house, go to the website. You can order one. Hopefully, we're shooting for next year to get onto a subscription base, so we can actually ship these directly to your house. So we're still working out details on that, but.
I mean, it's growing by leaps and bounds.
Yep.
So, I mean, we were kicking around some, subscription ideas and whatnot. And right now, we're, lucky to have some distribution help. Yeah. But obviously, onwards and upwards.
Well, I got an email from John Stone a couple days ago asking some questions about the magazine, and I think when you get an email from the largest wholesaler in the country, you're doing something right.
Yeah. So. Absolutely. So. Thanks again. Congratulations on everything. We look forward to, Centrotherm again as a sponsor of the awards, as we are, I believe, Red Carpet again.
Yep.
So we'll be out there. I need
tickets. Hopefully will go on sale this week. We've
is that right?
Some technical difficulties.
Okay.
But I think we're getting it figured out. So.
All right. Well, I'm sure people are chomping at the bit. There's a cool little ad in the previous one, the previous episode, and this one as well. I did not keep that photo of the dolphin. That was a placeholder in there for a little while.
Excellent. I'm glad we did not keep that.
This is what sometimes in the podcast I don't care. I'll just talk about sort of inside jokes. It's not a big deal. It's like to explain that one. When we didn't have the ad material created, we knew it was at SeaWorld. So yeah, I may or may not have Googled a kind of awkward photo of a dolphin.
It was definitely awkward.
It was like kind of like the underbelly. It wasn't gray. It was like pink and white.
It was flesh colored.
Yeah, it was a very awkward looking, beautiful photo, very high resolution.